Someone out there spent last weekend elbow deep in an engine bay. Not because something was broken, but because something could be better. Their friends think it's obsessive. Their bank account probably agrees. But there's a whole branch of psychology that explains exactly why they do it. And honestly, it says a lot about all of us. The car as a second skin. Here's something most people overlook. A car isn't just a possession, it's a space you inhabit. Research on emotional product attachment shows that people bond with objects that help express who they are and signal belonging to a social group. Psychologists call this symbolic self-completion, the idea that we use external objects to reinforce our sense of identity. So when someone swaps out their factory rims or tunes their exhaust note, they're not just modifying metal, they're authoring a statement about who they are, one that travels through the world with them, visible to everyone they pass. Control and mastery. One of the strongest psychological drivers behind modification is the need for control. Modern life is messy and unpredictable. A car, specifically your car, becomes one of the few spaces where every decision is yours. The colour, the sound, the performance, nobody overrules you here. Humans are wired to seek competence. Psychologist Csikszentmihalyi described the concept of flow, that deeply satisfying mental state where skill meets challenge perfectly. Car enthusiasts regularly describe this exact feeling when diagnosing a problem, learning a new technique, or finally nailing an install after 3 failed attempts. It's not wrenching, it's flow. When a project is complete, the brain releases dopamine, the same neurochemical reward a painter gets finishing a canvas. That feeling is real. Car modification culture has deep roots in community. Historically, movements like low-riding in Los Angeles and the Asian import tuning scene weren't just about aesthetics, they were about identity and belonging for youth populations looking for a place to exist on their own terms. That same psychological thread runs through modern car meets, people driving hours to park in a lot, swap technical knowledge and admire each other's builds. That's Maslow's hierarchy in action. Belonging is a fundamental human need, sitting just above safety. For many enthusiasts, especially younger people still figuring out their place, the modification community is their tribe. The honest part. Now, to be fair, not every modification comes from the same place. Psychologists do acknowledge something called compensatory consumption, where purchases or upgrades are used to fill gaps in self-esteem or seek validation that isn't coming from elsewhere. A loud exhaust and aggressive body kit can sometimes be less about passion and more about being seen, but that's a spectrum, not a rule. Motivations can be complex, layered, and even unconscious. The key question isn't whether someone modifies their car, it's why. Authentic expression and emotional compensation can even coexist in the same person. So next time you see a slammed hatchback with a custom wrap and an exhaust that announces itself a block away, don't just see a car, see someone expressing identity, chasing mastery, and finding community. The vehicle changed, but the human need driving it, that's ancient.